boy, so we just got the Bottomless Dungeons tutorial video released from the official DML YouTube channel. So we will be going through the entire tutorial trailer, of course, because this gives us so much info pertaining to the new dungeon that is being released on the 8th of July. And I've paused it here because this is the thing that I enjoy the most, because this is apparently, there's a purple chest here with the robot dragon, and this is the highest tier chest that you can get in this event. And the thing is, you can open this chest multiple times, and eventually, the limited time dragon is guaranteed to appear inside it, which is what we have been waiting for years in the dungeon. So I'm sure there are a lot of other really good changes like that. So we are going to be going through all of this together. And to start off with, they are going to go on about the new island for a little bit. So let's play
Greetings, Dragon Lords.
Hello.
And welcome to the new Bottomless Dungeon tutorial.
Thank you, Andrews.
The new dungeon building will be located in the middle of the new island complex, southwest of the main island. The new dungeon will be accessible from the campaign map and the new dungeon island for players above level 16.
So remember that. You have to be player level 16 or above, so if you're not above that and then you get the new dungeon, just be aware you can't take part in it until you are player level 16. Very important.
Once you enter the dungeon, you can perform the following actions. Start or continue an ongoing dragon brawl by tapping on the Start Brawl button. Keep track of your active dungeon tasks. Explore the dungeon map by tapping on the Explore button. Take a look at the goods of the dungeon shop. And finally, you can check out fight bonuses by tapping on the Fight Bonus button.
So this seems to be the main Bottomless Dungeon screen as a whole. So like they said, those are all of the different parts pertaining to the Bottomless Dungeon itself. And these brawl tests in particular, are these RNG related? I'm not sure if they are the same for every single person, because there's also a knockout leaderboard. So you actually get to compete with other people to see how many dragons you can defeat in, I believe, in the full week, which is going to be fun. But you know, these stepping stones are required to open the chest, progress in the map and everything. So I'm wondering if these are RNG and, you know, which ones are going to be the best. That's what I'm concerned about mainly.
In a dragon brawl, you face endless waves of opponent dragons. Your goal is to keep fighting for as long as you can. Your 9 strongest dragons are automatically picked as your dungeon fighter team, and you are free to select the first group of 3 to start off with.
And so then, remember, 9 strongest dragons are going to get thrown into the fray, and the opponents will slowly get tougher and tougher, which means you'll have to pick your stronger dragons as you go. It's pretty simple now that we've seen it.
There's a stepping stones multiplier displayed on your dungeon fighter dragon's portrait. Achieving knockouts with your weaker dragons gives you twice or 3 times higher amount of stepping stones. Make sure to use them against less powerful enemy dragons in the beginning of the brawl.
So, this is a really important thing. They say that your weaker dragons will give us bonus stepping stones for a knockout. So what this means is it's going to be a good idea to use your weakest dragons in as many battles as you possibly can, because that way you're going to get bonus stepping stone points. So you can see here that this rare and this epic, you know, the dragons that shall not even be named, except Blazebird's pretty cool, but they get 3 times the amount of points compared to their top dragons, which were the level 100 Murano, Carmine and Alo dragons. They only get the regular amount of stepping stone rewards because they're already, you know, max level and the highest level dragons there. But thing to note is they have a 4th dragon that's also level 100 fully enchanted, but that one still gets 2 times the amount of points. So I imagine there's probably going to be a little bit of RNG as to which of your main your main dragons get the bonus points if you have more than 3 level 100 fully enchanted dragons, which is something to note. But I guess we'll have to play around with that a little bit and see how it works out when the event comes here.
Tap on the battle button. If you defeat any of the 3 opponents in a dragon brawl, a stronger dragon steps to the place of the defeated one. Every time one of your fighting dragons is defeated, you are free to pick another dragon from the remaining ones in your dungeon fighter team.
So this is important. When your dragon dies, you get to choose a different one of your 9 dragons. It doesn't automatically select one for you. From the looks of it, you actually get to choose which one you get to use. So this screen here says dragon out, dragon in. Your dragon is defeated, but you still have one available dragon, and we picked the next one for you. You can also restart the brawl to revive all your dragons and return to easier enemies. If you do restart a brawl, that's a 6-hour cooldown, which means that you won't be able to fight for 6 hours. But it is endless in the fact that you could keep going forever and ever and ever and never get defeated. But if you can't go any further but you want to do more fights, you start that 6-hour cooldown, come back, do more fights is essentially the way that it happens. But I'm happy that we get to choose the dragons. Thank goodness gracious. That is a good thing.
Whenever one of your dragons is defeated, Dragon Fury increases by 1 point.
And that is cool.
Keep an eye on your active Dragon Brawl tasks at all times, as you receive a significant amount of stepping stones on completing them. Defeating the next dragon task is active constantly, and its reward keep increasing as you reach higher knockout points.
Okay, so that one's
If
permanent.
all of your fighter dragons are down, or you don't want to go any further, you can restore the Dragon Brawl at any time. In this case, all your dragons will be fully healed, and the power level of opponent dragons resets.
Wait, what did that say? We get a new fight bonus awarded in the next brawl. So if you restart, you get bonuses to either damage or health to make it easier. That's pretty cool. That means that it truly is endless in the fact that you've got the full week to try and finish the maps and then open up all the chests. And in that way, I guess it means that it makes it easier for people that are really, really struggling early on. Maybe you're a little bit of a klutz and you don't really understand how all the elements in that work. This is a way of helping those people. You just take a little bit longer to do it, I suppose, which is cool.
Every time you defeat an opponent, your knockout meter increases by 1. Reaching knockout milestones grants you new fight bonuses that increase the health points and the damage of all your dragons in the brawl.
And this is the KO milestone that I was talking about. So you can see here that Dragon Master 8 something has 12 knockouts compared to Dragon Master 1 something who only has 3. And there are other people here that don't have a single knockout, but I imagine that people are going to have a lot of fun fighting on the leaderboard between who can get the most knockouts. And you also get bonuses based on the amount of knockouts that you have. So the more knockouts you do, the stronger you are gonna get as a whole. So, oof, God, you could see some people getting some really crazy amount of score here. Especially if, you can refresh everything with gems, which would make it so that certain people have so many points. I don't even want to imagine. But you can see that all of these seem to be plus health, plus attack. And that seems to be the only thing that you can get on the milestones, but I'm not sure.
It's important to note that new fight bonuses are applied only when the current Dragon Brawl is restarted. Keep defeating opponent dragons to unlock combat boosts, then restore the brawl and progress further. Compete with others for the first spot of the leaderboard with your new powers. Once you collected tons of stepping stones from Dragon Brawls, you need to cash in those stones for valuable rewards. Let's head to the exploration of the dungeon map.
Let's go and explore.
Moving on the dungeon map costs stepping stones. Similarly to castle events, the cost of moving is cheap in the beginning and becomes more expensive as you progress.
This is also something that is really, really cool and we've wanted for such a long time. When you open these dungeon chests, you get the choice of which of the rewards you want to take. So there's no more missing out on a specific thing that you want or a special limited time thing that they might bring out in some of the other chests. And Otto says, so you found one of my treasure chests, eh? Careful now, you can only pick one of these. Well, thank you for giving me the option, Otto, instead of shoving food down my mouth instead of 100 gems or, a new dragon. But out of this selection, that's a pretty good selection. You get... Well, imagine if you picked the scrolls knowingly. Why would you do that? 2 enchantment tickets or 30 dungeon tokens? Those two are really good. So now the problem doesn't become finishing the dungeon to get the chest finished. It becomes what do you want to choose? Because more dungeon tokens means more dungeon rewards, but more enchantment tickets, those can be so good, dude. Oh, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough deciding.
Dungeon chests contain dungeon tokens mostly, but you'll find all kinds of other goodies in them. There's a chance to loot the special weekly time-limited dragon reward every time you open a chest.
And did you hear that? There's a chance of getting a special time-limited dragon every single time you open a chest? That sounds pretty cool to me.
4 kinds of chests can be found on the dungeon map. Small chests are red, medium chests are green, big chests are blue, and a single multi-open chest is purple.
So those are all of the different chest types. Of course, the purple one is the one with the gigantic coins next to it, but 4 tiers of chests, and the further in the dungeon you go, the more likely you are to get the rarer chests, is what we've been told before. But these purple chests are going to be the main thing that you'll want to go for, because they're the ones that are going to eventually guarantee the time-limited dragon if you do it over and over and over again.
There's only one multi-open chest on every map, and it can be found at the end of the maze-like layout. If you open the last purple chest a certain number of times, the weekly time-limited dragon reward will be guaranteedly found in it. Finally, but not least, we arrive to the last and most relaxing part of this new adventure, the dungeon shop. Here you can spend your hard-earned dungeon tokens to buy new and exclusive dungeon dragons and cool decorations. Also, you'll receive plenty of special time-limited offers. The new update goes live on July 2.
So these are the special offers in the dungeon that aren't appearing in game quite yet. And you can see that there's actually 2 dragons that are limited time dragons that I wouldn't have expected to see in this dungeon, being the Liberty and Pilgrim dragons, which is pretty cool. And then the other bundle things that we have for dungeon tokens, they look like whale mark deals to me almost. Like you can get 10 gems, a VIP ticket, you can get a habitat limit extender. That just looks like whale mark deals to me. But they only cost dungeon tokens, which is pretty good depending on what you've got
the new dungeon
left
starts
to
on
unlock.
July 8 only, to give everyone enough time to update their games. Make sure you try out the brand new Bottomless dungeon and let us know what you think about it. We wish you good luck. See.
Okay, so that is pretty much everything from this trailer. So I hope it all made sense. Essentially, with the fights, you just go with the 9 strongest dragons that get selected for you. Use your weaker dragons for as many fights as you can to boost your score. And the idea is to not die, basically. It's really actually quite simple at the end of the day. And I hope it makes sense to you, because I'm pretty sure I've got my head around most of it. But, you know, if you do have any other questions, feel free to ask. And I'm sure lots of people will be asking questions on the forums, on Facebook, things like that, to Gameloft themselves, but I'm more interested in these tasks, because they said that the defeat next dragon quest was permanent, but I'm wondering about the other 2 quests, because one of them's worth 200 stepping stones, the perform 15 weak attacks. That sounds really tedious and really annoying to do depending on what your dragons are. Imagine if you just had 3 plant dragons and it was impossible because none of the dragons resisted it. But either way, this looks like it's going to be a fun challenge, and even though there's the 6-hour cooldown, which kind of makes me think, well, is it endless? But at the same time, if there's a 6-hour cooldown, it doesn't feel quite as endless, but I guess if you never die, it is endless. But I'm not sure if the dragons are going to get so difficult that they become impossible for our mains to defeat, so if we just get forced into submission eventually. But a really cool concept, definitely something new for us to try out in game, and I just want to get into it. Although I am busy on Monday when this dungeon comes out, but I really want to get into opening all of these chests. And reminder that it is probably going to give people some practice when it comes to the castle events, because, you know, you have to choose which path you want to go down. You got to pay with stepping stones to get there, so it works like a castle event plus dungeon all in one. I don't know, it's kind of a weird combination, but I like it. I like it so far. And I don't think this is anywhere near as boring and as tedious as the previous one, so I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I think I have rambled for enough time. So that is our new take on the dungeon tutorial video itself, I do recommend you go ahead and take a look at the video yourself. So, you know, if you want to see it, go onto the main Dragon Mania Legends YouTube channel and it will be their latest video here. I caught it right at the end of the premiere. That's how soon I was to this video. But anyway, that is everything that you should need to know for now. So, for now, I appreciate you being here. Very best of luck, and until next time, I will see you then.